I hacked my period pain, endometriosis pain that is. Do you want to know helpful ways to reduce your endometriosis period pain? Well, keep watching until the end to learn how I reduced my recent endometriosis flare within a matter of hours. Now, I know I've shared my various endometriosis symptoms with you. Bowel symptoms, digestive symptoms, pelvic pain, thoracic symptoms. And I've also shared the fact that I've been managing my endometriosis completely holistically for the past 2 years, having never, to date, received surgical treatment. When I'm stressed, inflamed, unwell, run down, not supplementing or eating well, my endometriosis flares up, and I experience an array of symptoms. Tugging sensations, painful abdominal swelling, indigestion, etc. But when I look after myself, when I'm managing my stress, regulating my nervous system, eating and supplementing well, and incorporating daily movement, my periods look like this. They arrive symptom-free. I'm only aware of my periods coming because I track my cycle and I'm regular at 28 days. Day 1 is my heaviest bleed. That means changing my sanitary towel maybe up to 5 times within a 24-hour period. And I typically have to wake up pretty early by 7 a.m. to change my towel because it's usually full overnight. Now, if I compare that to my heavy periods from my teens and my 20s, I would need to change my pad every hour, and I would need to wake up at least once during the night to change my pad. In fact, I would have to take extra precautions, double up, wear 2 pads at night, and sleep with a towel underneath me just in case. What's my day 1 pain like? I typically experience what I'd call mild pelvic pain, aches around my left hip where I know most of my endometriosis is, some lower back pain, and maybe the occasional mild tugging sensations. That's it. On to day 2. My flow has significantly reduced. I may need to change my pad maybe twice during the entire day. Any pain has turned into mild discomfort, enough for a hot water bottle to handle, and I might bleed a few drops overnight. Day 3, my entire period is a few drops. It's barely there. I wear a panty liner. By this point, I typically have no real symptoms. Maybe some residual lower backache or mild abdominal discomfort or bloating. And I'm pretty much ready to head back to the gym. What about bowel symptoms? All throughout, my bowel movements are pretty much normal. My normal. I might experience the odd moment of urgency or the opposite, a bit of a struggle to pass the poop. Day 4. There is no day 4, and that's the gist of it. That's what I've managed to turn my periods into. Never have I ever experienced such periods before. Historically, my periods would last up to 7 days, and over time they progressively just got worse. However, disclaimer, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. As I've shared, when I was sick with a virus, I presume COVID, and when I had to take antibiotics for a UTI, which coincided with menstruation, my immune system was in the crapper and I experienced major endometriosis flare-ups. Interestingly, my most recent period just last week was a complete mare. It was the first time in 5 years I genuinely thought I might have to buy painkillers. And I'm actually not sure if the pain was actually as extreme as it's been in the past, or if my pain tolerance has lowered, because my periods for the most part have been pain-free. I know my gut's been off a little bit. It's been the Christmas holidays and you get a bit lazy. I've eaten foods I shouldn't that I know irritate me, like gluten, dairy, sweets, rice. I also reintroduced some inflammatory foods that I'd been avoiding while doing my cut. Foods like chili con carne. It gave me acid reflux almost instantly. And on top of that, for some reason, I thought it was a great idea to drink coffee on day 1 of my period, when I know my digestive system is pretty sensitive to caffeine, which is why I don't really drink it. So on day 1 of my period, I was in immense pain. The exact kind of pain I've managed to avoid. My entire abdomen was in agony. My pelvis was screaming in pain. My lower back was aching. And as for my bowel movements, they were barely happening, but I kept having that feeling where you feel like you keep needing to go to the toilet. That was New Year's Eve, by the way. I managed to avoid painkillers though. And I'm going to tell you what I did to salvage my symptoms. My emergency go-tos are prebiotics, probiotics, anti-inflammatories, and antioxidants. I first made myself a fiber drink using psyllium husk, a prebiotic. I then heated up some organic bone broth for the probiotics for my gut and added turmeric for tackling inflammation. The only solids I was craving in my pain was an omelette, so I cooked myself one and sprinkled some more turmeric in there too. I then wrapped up my exciting New Year's Eve with a quarter of lemon juice and water and mixed in chlorella powder, antioxidants to support detoxification. And finally, I popped my favorite magnesiums plus some other anti-inflammatory supplements. The result? My symptoms died down and I had major pain relief within a couple of hours. And I slept like a baby. On day 2, I had a significant reduction in my pain levels. My bowel movements returned to normal. Well, my normal. And I could actually walk around without hunching over and cradling a hot water bottle. By day 3, I was pain-free and back to the gym as per usual. Diet and supplementation have been key to keeping my endometriosis symptoms at bay and my periods tolerable. So how do you manage your period or endometriosis symptoms? Are you wanting to improve your diet? Are you interested in learning more about supplementing for endometriosis? Let me know in the comments because there's literally so much to know and I'm eager to share tried and tested methods with you.